A man who wishes he lived in a state that knew how to cease fire. Adam Carolla.
Yeah. Get it on. Got to get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Erica Rhodes, one of our favorites, back in studio, grieving the loss of director, writer David Lynch.
Yes, I'm so sad.
Yeah, I have a controversial question to ask you.
Yes.
David Lynch, give us the thumbnail sketch of David Lynch.
Well, he's just an iconic director, and he did
Blue Velvet,
Twin Peaks, that little monkey short that he directed. That somehow
he did a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah,
but you liked it.
I really liked him. Yeah.
Okay, and then I overheard you say you never had a chance to meet him.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's a good.
Right.
That's a good impulse.
Yeah.
And you may not be able to answer this.
Yes.
But you may. A lot of women, attractive women, there is the outside chance that if you meet so-and-so, big mega rock star or whatever, you could marry them. Like, but what I'm saying is when I was 17, I liked the Pretenders. And I love
the Pretenders.
And I loved Chrissy Hines.
God,
but I never had the thought that if I meet her, she's probably going to think I'm hot. And maybe we could hang out. I never thought that because I knew she wouldn't. You know what I mean? There wasn't.
Right.
There are pretty countless stories about just women going, I was a big fan of that guy.
Yeah.
Radio show or TV show or whatever. Then I heard he was doing a live show like in Orange County. And I just went down there, and we've been married for 11 years now. Like, there's no version of me just like I'm going to the Bengals concert, see if I can bang some of those chicks. Like
You don't think that's ever happened? That a guy has met a woman that he's like, I'm a big fan, and then they get married?
I will say this. I will never deal with never happens, because that it definitely has happened. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying, like the dude who married Britney Spears,
and
Sam Asghari or whatever, that guy definitely showed up with a shirt off at some point, and he knew what he was doing.
And Madonna, I think, too. Madonna may have...
It's doable.
Yeah.
But it's not as frequent as just... So you're a very attractive blonde, so it's always kind of in your hip pocket that you could just go up and meet this guy, and that you could be talking, and then at some point he'd go, do you like Appletinis? And you'd go, oh, yeah. And then that... You know what I mean? Like, we're off and running. I'm not talking about one night stand. I'm talking about potential marriage. It's happened a lot.
That's weird. Like, I guess I don't really think like that. I just think, but maybe it's.
But you said like you didn't get a chance to meet him.
Well, but
which meant he could have asked you out on a date.
I guess so. But I guess I look at him as just like this sort of otherworldly person. Mm-hmm. Like, he doesn't seem grounded in reality. So I wouldn't even think of dating him. I would just think of being like, I really like your work.
Right. And those guys would be a nightmare to date, right?
Yeah, I've dated a couple people like that, and they're not what you think they are.
Are those guys... Here's a theory.
Yeah.
I forged this theory. And by the way, Bob Euchre's dead. And I always had a feeling if I could meet Bob Euchre, maybe we could move in together, because we would make such a great team, talking sports, cracking wise, drinking Budweiser all day.
It could have happened.
It could have happened.
Now it can't.
Yeah. Where do you come down on this theory that I've only promoted through watching my own family members closely, especially my dad? I have a theory that there are two ways you can go through life. You can kind of present as able-bodied and take care of business and here's how to do it. Mm-hmm. Or you can present as sort of Bob Dylan. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what's going on. Yeah. In which case, they never get asked for, can you give me a ride to the airport? Like, did anyone say to Bob Dylan his entire life, dude, can you help me move on Saturday? Do you have a truck? No, it's like, I have cigarettes and a motorcycle, and I don't do anything.
Right. I just saw that.
Do they cultivate it to be left
well, I think there's
alone, and they can cheat on you, and they can do tons of shit, and you can't really say anything because that's who they are. You know, they're artist guys.
Yeah, I think they're kind of egomaniacs, and it probably is on purpose so that they have this sort of protection that where people can't reach them, maybe.
Well, my dad presented as incompetent so he would be left alone.
Right. Interesting.
Because you get hit up, like when you're competent and like able-bodied and stuff, you get hit up for loans. Like people borrow money that they'll never pay back. But I mean, they want loans. They want you to do shit like, hey man, you know, I got a business idea, but I'm a little short, you know, but I just need a little seed money. Like they have ideas. They want you to.
Does this happen to you?
I've been asked by 25 people to write a foreword for their book.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's I'm flattered, but still, you have to do something. You know what I mean?
And if someone asked Bob Dylan, he'd be like, yeah, man, I'm going to get around to it.
I don't think he'd be like, yeah, man, what's a book?
Yeah. He'd be like, do you need to write a book?
What is a book?
Yeah, what is a
and what
book?
if no one reads it? It's still a book, man? Oh, hold on. That reminds me of a song. Can I use your book to write some lyrics down that no one's going to read? And then you just kind of leave them alone.
Yeah,
So,
it's probably true.
These guys, these artist guys you dated, were they really artists or were they just kind of, I mean, they may have been artists, but were they also trying to be left alone?
Probably, yeah. Like one guy I dated was like, you probably think I'm insane. And then I was like, yeah. And then I realized he wanted me to say that.
Right.
You know, he wanted me to be like, yeah, you're so insane. I can't figure you out. You're so, unique and special. And
how did this guy present? Was he a musician? Was he a comic?
That was a comic.
Comic. And I don't mind quirky and weird. I don't like cultivated quirky and weird, like where they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think he was a bit manipulative with his weirdness.
Uh-huh.
A bit like, I'm such a genius, nobody understands me.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm sort of above everybody else.
Mm-hmm. But he will be maybe not recognized in his lifetime. But at some point, he will be hailed as a genius, like Picasso or something.
I think he's been
Van Gogh.
He's been kind of recognized.
Oh, he has been recognized?
Yeah.
Oh, as a genius?
Well, just as a good comedian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you got him when he was a little bit green.
Not really.
Well, what I mean is he wasn't flourishing under your tutelage.
No.
But now,
well, not because of me.
No.
But he was successful.
He was.
Yeah.
But now he's very successful.
Yeah, pretty successful. But I mean, I met him when he was successful.
Oh, okay.
I met him like what you were saying, the David Lynch thing.
You met him that way.
Kinda, yeah.
You were attracted to him.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'll go to see the show.
Well, no, I was somewhere where he blocked my car in. So I had to go up to him and be like, you blocked my car in. And I can't get my car out.
You were at like a Chipotle?
No, at the Comedy Store.
Oh, I see.
we were at the Comedy Store and I was like, excuse me, you blocked my car in.
But did you go to the Comedy Store to see him?
No, I was just happened to be there. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sort of a long story, but yeah. But I sort of ran into him and
the Comedy Store waves everyone in off of Sunset and they just sort of stack up the cars and you finish your set, you walk out there, the 3 people park behind you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So I went right up to him and I was like, I think you blocked my car in. Mm-hmm. And then we sort of met that way.
Did he say something? Because you only have a moment at that point.
Well, we had met before that, but like not really, kind of just like online.
Oh, online.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of that going around.
A little bit sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
My friend told me that I had a crush on someone recently, and she's like, just slide into his DMs and be like, I like your work, and I'm a fan. And I was like, I've never done that. Mm-hmm. But she's like, what do you have to lose? Just go and tell him you like him. Or ask him if he's single. That's what she said. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
But isn't it that's a little creepy to just slide into a, like if you're a woman, that's weird, I think.
Okay, well, let me explain how the male wiring works.
Yeah. Then he's like, she's desperate. No, okay.
I'm explaining.
Okay, thank you.
I'm mansplaining.
Yeah, mansplain men, please.
I'm going to mansplain men.
Okay.
We do not have a rigid set of rules like maybe women do. We are much more malleable. So, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
If we hear some story about some Floridian teacher having sex with her students, we do not immediately judge. We say, let me see what she looks like.
Oh my God.
You see?
Yes.
And then we'll base our opinion on what she looks like.
Right.
Because you may just see sex with underage boys. And
right.
you may just be hearing about a crime.
Yes.
So we are sort of like us. It's like us going arson. And we go, I want to see a picture of what burnt down.
Right. Like how much did
if it was a
affect?
shit shack, good.
Yes.
Gone. But if it was a beautiful architectural piece of engineering, then we're pissed. You know what I mean? So we want to figure it out first.
I see. And so you think women are more simplistic with their judgment
Well,
of
so
things?
you go, oh, isn't it a little bit forward if somebody slides in your DM and asks you if you're single, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if Sofia Vergara slides into my DMs and asks if I'm single, then I don't have an issue
right
with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then if let's say there are others, we won't call anybody's names out, but then there might be others where you'd go, oh, that's unattractive, So
yeah.
we do it,
So I guess,
it's case to case.
Interesting. So that's kind of what my friend said. She was like, why, you just like.
So if Lena Dunham slid, I don't know that she can quietly slide into a DM. I think you're going to hear her coming down the hall. Don't you feel like, fee, fi, fo, fum, I'm sliding into your DMs. Like,
I feel like she would do that, though. Like, I feel like she would be fearless.
She would go head first.
Yeah.
Barefoot.
She'd be like, want to have sex?
Stomping
I feel
down
like
the
she'd
hall.
just be like, want to have sex right now?
Right.
Like
or she might inform you we already had sex. Live with it. Deal with it, bro.
And for me, being forward is like, hi.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So if this guy sees you, he's going to think of it differently than he might think of some others because you're attractive, you're blonde, and you have a certain way about you that's a sort of delightful way. So I would say
you think it's okay.
He would be good.
Because then here's another question. I think women judge success a little bit more in like terms of, oh, I'm on their level of success or I'm not on their level. Whereas I think men are more open to dating a woman that's not maybe in their, bracket of financial security, right? Because sometimes I get insecure because I'm like, I'm still struggling, And
listen, Tiger Woods married his nanny. Or the babysitter, or whoever that chick was, right?
Right, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't his nanny, but she was a nanny.
Right.
So, look, I don't know what bracket you're in as a nanny, but...
a little above nanny.
You're above nanny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're below doula, for instance, an au pair, but you're above nanny,
right?
But below gardener and maid, but somewhere,
and below Sofia Vergara.
Oh, and we're all just living in her shadow. Get used to it, baby. No, well, first off, I want to thank. I don't know if it's the fires or I don't know if I'm off my rhythm. I'm not watching Entertainment Tonight or TMZ or whatever.
Yeah.
This is the longest I've ever been without hearing Sofia Vergara weigh in on something and saying something fucking retarded. I'm on day 17 of not hearing Sofia Vergara talk about something in a retarded fashion.
I'm sure she is saying something about the fires.
I missed it. But anyway.
Yeah.
And beauty comes from within, according to her.
Right.
as well.
Right.
And the double D's,
Oh, my God.
don't hurt. But
And-
okay.
Yes.
So, wait, what was I saying? So, Tiger Woods, arguably the most successful athlete of all time, marries a woman who works as a nanny.
Right.
So we're able to dip down a little bracket-wise, like
Yeah.
financially, if a chick looks like her.
So you don't think there's some men that are like, I'm only going to date a model, like supermodel?
No,
I feel like
but
some men are like that, where they're like, I'm only going to date like a hot 10 model.
no, you could work at a Waffle House and look like a supermodel, and
That's
we would
true.
dip down.
But you're saying they still have to look like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, you have to look more like that.
If you work at the Waffle House.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The lower the income, the hotter you have to be. Right.
Right.
And then there's some version of this, some like James Brolin, Barbara Streisand version of this, where it's like, well, she is Barbara Streisand. She's got a fucking pretty nice.
Yeah.
She's got a spread. Probably used to have a spread in Malibu with an underground shopping mall.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Brolin took a look at that and was like, all right.
That's probably harder, though, for like very successful women to find a match. You know?
She got the pretty boy Brolin
Right.
in this equation. So
That's true.
if you're James Brolin,
I forget what he looks like. I can't like picture him. Right?
good looking,
Okay. Yeah. And they're still married?
still married.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if their place burnt down in Malibu or not.
Oh,
James Brolin was like,
Modelly?
I don't know. We can figure out this timeline. But before Selleck in the mustache, there was Brolin in the beard.
Okay.
Brolin had a beard
I don't know why I
when
can't
dudes
picture
didn't
him.
really have beards, and he made it work big time. James Brolin, circa hotel, motel, or whatever.
He's very handsome.
Yeah.
He has a nice smile, too.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he has
he's cute.
kind,
And he has
kind
good
eyes.
hair.
You should slide
Good
into his
hair.
DM. She's not going to live forever.
How old is he now? Like 70?
Brolin could be 82 now or something. I mean,
I know him. He's a good actor, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he's a good
he's got
dude.
that wink look, like he's always winking at you.
He's been on the show. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he looks like a good guy.
Good dude.
Wow.
But what I'm saying is
Yeah.
Brolin's 84. Okay.
Whoa.
You either
good.
go, when you're James Brolin, either dip down to the model at the Waffle Hut or you pop up to Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, but
See what I'm saying?
she's attractive.
She's attractive,
Just
but she's not
model like.
31-year-old model
yeah, that's
attractive.
true.
You know what I'm saying? But she's underground mall attractive.
Right. Yeah.
Understood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanna make
no,
sure
I'm
we're
getting
clear.
it. I'm
You're
just
getting
still
it?
not sure whether I should slide into a DM or not.
Brolin?
Not with Brolin.
Slide to Brolin's DM.
It's another man.
Okay. Comedian?
No, he's a director.
Ooh.
Who?
Lynch?
Should I just say it?
Yeah, just yell it out.
His name's Peter Berg.
Oh, shit.
so
I know
cute.
Peter Berg.
Doesn't he date model? I bet he just dates models. I just love I love Friday Night Lights, and I think he's handsome. You're like, yeah, he's trouble.
It makes me. I worry.
Yeah.
A little.
Yeah,
A
look-
little about you.
Yeah,
with,
see, that's my
Peter
but that's
Berg.
my type is when it's like a guy who's like he looks like trouble, you know? So he probably is.
Listen, I would consider him a
Can't
friend.
believe I said who it was.
I like Peter Berg. He's a good dude. I'm not really seeing the fit,
Yeah.
but I'd be,
You
I'd
look
be
so
rooting.
surprised.
Well, I thought it was going to be some director I never heard of that you thought
Well,
that I
I
had
didn't know
heard of.
how big he was, but I mean, I know Friday Night Lights is like one of the biggest shows ever, but
Yeah, Pete Berg's a good dude.
My mom and I bonded over Friday Night Lights over Christmas because we both hadn't seen it, and we watched the whole thing in like 7 days.
The movie, the series,
the show,
yeah.
And then I looked at, and then we both had a crush on Tim Higgins, you know, the character that I was like, he's a 19-year-old for all ages because my mom and I both were in love with him. And then I looked up the director for the whole show, and I was like, oh, I think he's cute.
Well, let me bring you down to earth a little bit.
Yeah.
He wrote and directed the movie Battleship.
I didn't see that.
Did your mom see Battleship?
No, we're not going to watch that.
Because you would slow your Pete Berg roll if you saw. What do you think Battleship is on Rotten Tomatoes with the critics?
No.
Are we in the single digits here? We got into
You're trying to get rid of my crush? Is that what you're doing?
I have sparred Pete Berg in a boxing ring.
Really?
Yes. So I may still have some of his DNA on me.
Who won?
I don't.
You can't remember.
It wasn't. It
wasn't
like,
real.
We were sparring, and all I remember is I hit him with a left hook, and he said, "Why'd you do that?" And I just said, "Put your hands up." You know what I mean? Like you can't put your hands down. You get hit with the left hook. That's what we're doing. But so put your hands up, and then you won't get hit with the left hook. He's a good dude. I could.
You can't see it.
No, I can't see it, but I would like you kids to give it a try.
Really? But is he single?
This worked for Travis Kelce, you know? Just mention somebody
the
out of
person
his league
out
on a
of the blue,
podcast.
and now I don't even have to slide into his DMs.
Exactly.
He would just see it.
We're going to cut this for socials. You're all set. And then we'll DM it to him from our account.
I'm so embarrassed now.
Oh no, I like Pete, and I like you. I would think I'd like to see this work.
Really?
I would.
But is he a player?
He
Kinda.
There's a handful of Hollywood guys that are like dudes, you know, and they almost play the role of a dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, but I liked that he didn't seem like a pussy guy.
No.
He looks like a man.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like a guy who's protecting your friend who you're like,
he was in a movie.
Good guy.
He's an actor too, you know.
Yeah, I know.
He
was in Friday Night Lights too.
He was in Great White Hope.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Or whatever. Yeah, boxing movie. Oh, he dated Whitney Cummings. All right.
Well, she and I are like not at all alike, so maybe I'm not his type.
Yeah, but he dated her, so maybe he learned his lesson.
But I think he likes tall women, and I'm not.
You're
tall.
tall-ish.
I'm tall in heels.
But he's not a tall man.
Oh, he's not? He reads as tall.
Well, that's in your fantasies. He's 8 foot tall and rides a stallion.
I think he's 6 foot, at least 6 feet.
You could figure it out. Yeah, I'd have him at 6 foot.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't consider that tall. I just don't consider it short. It's just
I
right
thought 6 feet was tall for a man. No?
in Japan.
Well, how tall are you?
6'2".
Okay.
But
that's tall.
No. Oh, says 6'1". All right. That's good.
6'1"?
That's good.
Okay.
All right. Want to take a guess on Battleship Rotten Tomatoes score?
22%.
That's. There was a black guy in the lead who was like missing limbs, and you can always tack on a couple of points if they have some good theme, like chicks that kick ass. You can buy a couple of points. Black guys who are amputees fighting or still kicking alien ass will help a little bit. So you're right. It's minus that. You may be 11, but
it's
with
11?
that, no,
Oh.
I'm saying minus. I don't know what it is. I'm
you
going
haven't
to
looked
critic
it up
score.
yet. What do you
All
think?
right, I'm going 14 of 34.
I'm
okay.
closer.
You did good, and the people out of it 54, so that's not bad.
34 is not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad.
The last time I talked to Pete, or one of the last times I talked to him, he was writing Battleship, and
Well, he just came out with a new show too that I haven't seen yet. It's like American something.
He's prolific. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I talked to him and I said, "Where are you at?" And he said, "I'm on a boat."
Yeah.
And I said, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "I'm writing Battleship."
On a boat?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I thought, I mean, maybe that's part of his process. You know, I think for him, he needed to be at sea.
Yeah.
To write
he's
this
probably
movie.
not very available. It sounds like he's a he's a workhorse.
He may be married to his job.
Yeah.
I do, but you're busy too.
Yeah, I work a lot.
I do want to say this, and one thing I've never been able to figure out. Mm-hmm. The movie Battleship had nothing to do with the game Battleship, but they had to clear it from like Hasbro or something, which I never really figured out. Like Barbie was Barbie, and it was like a live adaptation of it, but it was still Barbie, and the Barbie Corvette and the dream house and the outfits, and they just went, hey, Mattel, we're licensing Barbie, and we're going to do a movie about Barbie. But then they did the same thing about Battleship, except for it didn't have anything to do with Battleship.
Other way around, they did a deal. Mattel did a deal with the studio to produce X amount of films based on Mattel toys, Battleship, Barbie, etc.
Uh-huh. All right. And Barbie was Barbie, but Battleship was not Battleship. They were fighting aliens.
They were fighting aliens?
You didn't see Battleship?
No, I didn't.
And you want to date Pete Berg?
And Tim Riggins is in it too.
And
Tim
Higgins?
Riggins or Higgins? Riggins? Okay. He's in everything. I mean, I have a crush on him too, but he's more like an actor type, and I feel like that's dangerous. You know, they're all players. But a director is more like behind the scenes. You know, he's more like cerebral.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm just saying.
Saying.
If you think you're going out with Pete Berg without an encyclopedic understanding of the movie Battleship, I don't see that dinner going well, sweetheart.
You think he wants to just talk about Battleship?
That's all he's going to talk about.
What about Friday Night Lights? We can't talk about that?
He may dabble, but he's going right back to Battleship. Yes.
Oh
you better
God.
learn everything about Battleship.
No, I'm not talking about Battleship.
All right. Well, good luck.
Sorry.
You'll be paying for your own entree. All right.
My phone.
Let me tell you about
It's a sign.
Let me tell you something that's funny.
Okay.
Now, I don't know. I'm going to ask, is this on me or not?
What?
I have an extra ticket to a UFC fight. So somebody said, talking about DMs and crushes, you know, somebody said, well, why don't you ask Kevin Costner to go with you to the fight?
Yeah.
And I just think how I always think, like, oh, he doesn't want to go to a fight. Like, what is he going to do? He's going to get angry.
Yeah, that's what I would assume too.
I don't get him angry. But then someone will go, well, you're friends with him. Go to the fight with him. Why not?
Right.
And I go, that's why I was supposed to leave him alone.
Right.
Was my default setting.
That's
but
how
then
I am.
I thought, let's go through life that way. Leave him alone.
Right.
So I sent him a text right before this, and I sent him a text, and I just went, hey, I got a couple of VIP tickets to the fight. You want to go? And then he just wrote back, in Vegas. Just in Vegas, period.
He's in Vegas.
That's all he wrote back was in Vegas. Then I wrote, then I did the stupid, shouldn't have asked. He's in Vegas, leave him alone. So I just went, okay, next time. And then he went, no, Dumbo, where's the fight? In Vegas?
Oh, he didn't put a question mark.
He didn't put the question mark
by it. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So
you said what?
I said it's at the new Clippers Center, like wherever it is. I didn't. We went back and forth a little.
Yeah.
Sun volleyball game, something. Not sure. And here we are. But the point is, now my reading, my comprehension, my spelling, and my punctuation is all bad. Yeah. So I always blame myself.
Right.
But in Vegas, needed to have a question mark on it, right?
It needed
also,
a question mark.
I just got back from Vegas, so I'm like, I was just in Vegas,
right.
But then that's stupid.
No, it's confusing to not say
that's
in
on
Vegas.
Him.
Yeah.
That's on him.
Yeah.
All right.
But then how did it end?
I don't know. I came into the studio. I was like,
that just happened?
That just happened.
So you don't know if he's coming or not?
Don't know. I said, think about it.
Sounded like he was interested.
Slid in my DM. Yeah. All right.
That's not a DM slide. You had his number. That was like a that was a text slide.
That's a text slide.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
Hey.
Has more clout if you text someone.
You know who may be in my phone?
Who? Peter Berg?
One Peter Berg.
I can't believe I said who it was.
I mean, he may. I haven't called him in a while, but we have talked a few times.
Oh my God.
He may be in there. I mean, listen. I'm one phone call away from Peter Berg. If that's something you want to explore.
I just don't think I'm his type, but maybe I'm also pulling what you're saying, where you're like, oh, I don't want to bother the person.
I think most of that is just internalizing us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's internal insecurity, maybe. Like, or I'll reject myself before someone can reject me. I'll just be like, I'm not in the bracket or whatever.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's like a constant weird low grade. The other day I tried to drive into Malibu to get some socks, you know, and we're driving down the canyon and there are cones all across the canyon, and some fire truck, but not a fire truck, but a support, pickup truck with the LA Fire Department or something, like, pulled up, and my girlfriend goes, "We'll go up there. Let's pull up and ask that guy what's going on with the getting back and the whatever." And then she goes, "He probably knows who you are." And I do he doesn't know. And okay, we'll pull up, roll the window down. And he goes, "Hey, Carolla." And I was like, why? Okay. I don't want to be the person who assumes it, but why am I shooting it down before we roll the window down? That's all. But that's my...
I think it's maybe a protection thing. It's like if he doesn't recognize me, I might feel a little bit bad if I have hopes that he does recognize me.
I think it's just a weird default setting of
it's
just why would he...
It's an insecurity thing,
yes,
I think.
Yes,
yeah,
that's good.
But, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so...
Yeah.
I can get hold of Pete Berg if you need me to. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
All right. But you were like, you don't even see it happening. You were like, no, you're gonna have to watch Battleship.
I don't think he's good enough for you.
Oh, really?
How about that?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Aw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't think it was going that. I thought you were like,
no, that's my angle. He's not good enough for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, maybe you could find someone good enough for me.
No. But I can tell you who's not good enough for you.
Okay. Is it because of his personality or because of Battleship or?
It's an amalgamation of
he doesn't.
No, I don't. I don't. He doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
If you said like,
if there was someone else that.
No, like let's put it. Let's see. Let me think of an analogy.
Okay.
My analogy is like if somebody said, you know what Conor McGregor's favorite drink is? And I'd go, what? And they'd go, an appletini. And I'd go, oh, I would have never, I mean, I don't mind appletinis.
Yeah.
it doesn't
compute. You're like, that doesn't.
But now I think about it, okay, have the appletini.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it wouldn't have been my guess.
Well, that's
usually what you are. You're the appletini.
Yeah, usually people don't think that I would go for who I go for, you know? Because I like people with sort of character. I don't like pretty boy, like I don't like a pretty boy or a guy who's just,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I also don't like really nice guys. People think, oh, you should have a really nice guy, but I don't usually connect with really nice guys.
Sign of weakness?
Yeah, or just like I get kind of bored, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a little boring.
Yeah.
They're too nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I nice is good, but for women there's nothing
it's not
interesting about it. It needs to be a little interesting. A little brooding is nice.
I like
women
brooding.
Like brooders.
Yes,
that's my whole thing. I was never a good brooder.
Really?
No, not a good one.
You seem a little broody.
I'm broody?
You seem a little broody. Yeah.
I'm not a good brooder. I'm just And by the way, if I say that word one more time, I will never know the meaning of it as long as I
Yeah,
live.
it sounds such a weird word. Brooder.
Yeah, sounds like
a
guy.
breeder, but brooder.
Yeah, or some sort of German fetish where you shit in coffee pots or something.
Oh my God.
That guy's a brooder.
He's a brooder. He's a brooder.
Yeah, I'm not. No,
Yeah.
I'm not. Oh, no, I'm not a brooder. I'm just not always interested in exactly what everyone is saying when they're saying it.
Yeah, but that's a form of not, like, you're not, I wouldn't call you, like, super, you're not people pleasery or anything. You wouldn't, like,
I don't know why, but the part of life where you go, hey, and we're both yell hey as long as we can and as loud as we can at each other. And then at some point you leave and I talk shit about you. I just, that part bothers
I know.
me.
I sometimes do that, and then I hate
me.
myself after.
Good. You should hate yourself for fake. I hate fake nice.
Yeah, I know. I think it's so ingrained in me because I was brought up by, like, my mom's Midwestern, so I have that.
Fake nice.
Like, yeah. But then later I'm like, oh, that didn't feel real.
There's people who can pull it off, but too much hay, too loud, too fake.
I get that.
Okay, so I'm with Brood over here.
Yeah, we don't like that.
Mayhem is here. So I think what we'll do...
Oh.
And I
was waiting.
I got some news. I'm staying at Dr. Drew's house.
Oh, where does he live?
He told me not to tell you. This one, he knows you're pretty desperate for a dude with some cash.
God.
And I didn't want to say it I wasn't going to say it on the air, but if you're going to ask, I just have to say it. He don't want you sliding into his DMs.
I'm not going to slide into everyone's DMs, okay?
Why don't you save us time and tell us who you think isn't cute, okay? Let's just save time.
Isn't Dr. Drew married?
Yeah, he's married.
Yeah, see? I couldn't slide into his
I was having coffee with him in his living room today. Just him. In my bathrobe and slippers.
Aww.
Walked in from the guest house. And his gardener showed up. And then that's all I'm going to say. I'll tell you the rest. Also, Erica's got live dates everywhere.
Oh, yes.
You're traveling all over the place, right?
Yeah, I'm going to Bermuda next week for Just for Laughs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even have that on the list. I got Grand Rapids, Michigan. I got La Jolla, the Comedy Store. I got Tacoma, Washington. I got Spokane. Erica Rhodes, comedy.com is where you go.
Yes.
Very funny stand-up. I've seen her
Oh, thanks.
do stand-up on more than one occasion. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll get Mayhem in here. We'll do some news. I'll tell you the Gardner story.
Yes,
right
can't
after
wait.
this. Yeah, I know. Scintillating. Hey, it's a brand new year, and it's all about setting goals, actually hitting goals, setting and hitting them as well. And that's why I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Huel. It's spelled Huel. It's a perfectly balanced meal designed by experts to provide nutrients and the nutrients your body needs. Now, I use their product, and you may have seen when I was doing my podcast from the hotel room that got a little traction, I had their water bottle next to me, which I use as well. It's very affordable. It tastes great. It's a shake that tastes like a milkshake. It's delicious. It's chocolate. It's vanilla. It's low sugar, and it's incredibly affordable. High protein meals, less than $5, and it's a budget-friendly option if you're trying to save some money and get some protein. Take the leap with the exclusive offer for new customers of 15% plus a free gift with the code ADAM. So 15% off and a gift with the code ADAM. It's Huel, right, Dawson?
That's 15% plus a free gift for new customers with the code ADAM at Huel.com. Huel.com. Start your year off strong. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with Huel. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters.
I am still looking for love, but it's hard. I just got my heart broken for the 15th time by the same guy. But he was successful, and I think at first that sounds fun, to date a successful guy, like a guy with money. The problem is I found out they don't always give you the money.
Erica Rhodes is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Mayhem.
That bit goes on, too.
Yeah.
That's a great bit.
Yeah, the house. It is a great bit. It's true.
It is true. They don't give you the money.
You really explored it.
Yeah.
I will. I'll give you the Reader's Digest version of this. I'll get into more detail later on because Mayhem's here's got the news and all so on and so forth. But
Yeah.
I was sitting drinking coffee with Dr. Drew this morning, and his gardener showed up in his backyard, and we were just sitting in the back of the house. So I was just sort of watching these guys, and out came the leaf blower at 8:30 in the morning, and I was like, oh, this is destroyed. Guy had an electric leaf blower, quiet and fine.
Wow.
He had an electric leaf blower.
We
It
have
worked.
the technology.
Yes, it was an industrial strength one. It wasn't like sort of cheap home, 20 volt whatever battery you'd use on a cordless drill. It was a bigger, more industrial version, but it was electric. It was so much more pleasant than the gas ones. And I'm like, why doesn't LA just have a program where all the gardeners turn in their gas-powered leaf blowers, and we will
Right.
provide them with an electric leaf blower? Considering what we spend money on in this city, it would be nothing. We've been talking about this for 25 years. It's totally doable. I don't know anyone who'd be against it. And it's insane that we still have these filthy machines spitting out all these
I
pollutants.
thought there was a mandate. I thought it was I thought
It
all
is.
of those
Oh, no,
are
it's a law.
bootleg. It's a law.
It is a law.
That doesn't get enforced.
Doesn't get enforced.
Oh,
I
really?
see.
Yes.
Are they just more expensive? Is that why people don't want
I think so.
to have
They're more expensive, and they're probably not as efficient, but it's sort of like saying, well, you couldn't have an electric car 10 years ago, but sort of now you can. You couldn't have an electric leaf blower probably 10 years ago, but now you can, and the city should facilitate it.
I just see Dr. Drew on the phone with this guy. Listen, compadre, gotta bring the electric ones. Carolla's in the house. He is gonna have a meltdown if he sees one 2-stroke engine in this backyard.
Yeah, two-stroke.
What's it like rooming with Dr. Drew? Are
I
you guys
know.
getting along?
It's like a buddy comedy. What the
that's
hell
what
is
I'm
this?
like picturing you in the robe and
Adam
you guys.
Carolla escaped the wildfire narrowly. Dr. Drew.
Dr. Drew.
Brought him in.
I love hanging around and talking to Dr. Drew
Yeah.
in an immense amount because Dr. Drew is very interested in the human condition, and everyone else is just sort of talking in their head or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, wants to know what motivates people
Yeah.
and what's going on.
Yeah.
And I have always been interested in that subject. And so he and I have these long conversations about sort of humans and motivation and things like that. And I always enjoy it. I always have.
Yeah.
Some people are really good to talk to, except for you won't know it if you're not a person that's capable of having that conversation with them.
Right.
So it's sort of like a really good cognac. If you give it to a 9-year-old, they'll just spit it out. They'll be like, I want high C or yoo-hoo. Something good. You know what I mean? Because they can't appreciate it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I've always been able to appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I've always had great conversation with Drew. And now I do it in my slippers, my bathrobe, and to really give it gravitas, I hold the mug with 2 hands.
Yeah. I was going to ask what kind of mug.
Two-handed mug grab means we're having a moment here. You know what I mean?
Is it one of those big mugs that he has?
It's nice. You go oversize because it validates the 2 hands.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it
that
really
feels
means
cool.
we're having a moment.
What was that waiter's name?
That's a
John Luke.
That's right. That is a coffee commercial
It does
moment.
feel
Yeah.
really. It does feel very precious. You're like,
Doesn't really work with the water glass. I gotta
Yeah,
tell you.
and all his mugs have his face on it from his TV shows.
oh my god,
he's got a lot of mug
that's
swag.
even funnier.
Yeah,
This guy's just stealing merch from himself.
I know. He's got mugs. It says Dr. Drew. It's got a
Did he just take you guys? Did he just take you guys in, or did he take?
There's some
in-
El Salvadorians that are with us as well.
And what's the animal situation around it? Did Dr. Drew have a cat? Or is it a dog? Salvadorians.
Dr. Drew. We don't talk because there's a language barrier.
But they're there.
Well, they can't get in the main house.
Oh, okay.
They're out in the pool.
They work
We're
the
in
garden.
the pool house with us, but I'm let into the main house to do the two-handed mug hold. Drew's got a half-blind, 15-year-old fat little something dog.
Oh, I'm glad that was going to be a dog, not a person.
Yeah, no. And his daughter, Yeah. And I came in yesterday and he wasn't there. So the dog was barking at me, but
okay.
I just kind of...
You just ignore the dog.
Yeah, I just kind of ignored the dog.
Okay.
And then, so Dr. Drew's up. He's doing his thing. But yeah, I was able to hang out in his living room with the two-handed mug grab today.
While you were texting Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
Were you texting him there or were you texting him when you left?
I went and checked my phone. I got an update.
You got an update. So you were like, sorry, Dr. Drew. I got other business in the other room.
I don't know what happened, but somehow his assistant got in on this.
Oh.
And says it's his birthday.
Kevin Costner?
Yeah. And you gotta do this.
Oh.
That's all I got.
I see. Okay. So she lives there too?
I don't know enough to know how she got in on this conversation.
But was she there or was she just talking on the phone?
She just, I just went in the next room and opened my phone and she gave a text.
Okay.
So I don't know how she got looped in.
Wow.
So I want to figure this out.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know.
He overheard and then told her and then...
I don't know. I don't know anything. But I'll figure it out.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
The whole pool house is wired, up and down. You got...
Are you going to have like a movie night tonight? Like, you guys hang out at night or?
With Drew?
Yeah.
Popcorn?
Drew, let's see. Drew goes to bed at 9.
Oh my God.
I know. It gets up early.
When do you go to bed?
Well, now, I mean, I have no TV that I can watch.
Oh, no.
So what am I supposed to do? Read?
Yes.
Huh?
You're supposed to read at night.
No.
It helps your brain.
All I do is I sit there and I go, I can't watch TMZ. I can't watch Sports Center. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Sofia Vergara. It's been 17 days. I don't know what's going on with her. I have no updates. I'm not good. So, see, most people are like this. You either do your phone. If you're young, you got your phone.
Yeah,
you get everything off your phone.
Yeah.
Or you're old and you can read.
Yeah.
But I'm old
mid-range.
and can't read.
Right.
So it's all
So
just
it's TV.
It's all just TV and it's stuff I can control.
Right.
But I can't control the TV. I can barely make it turn on.
Oh, man. So you're like on vacation, basically.
You need a training
Yeah, but
camp.
I don't know what to do because there's nothing to do. It's 9:00. I can't control the TV set.
Oh,
so I end up
man.
going to bed.
Wait, are you telling me that the thing that's holding you back right now is that you haven't figured out the
House?
remotes
Yeah.
at Drew's house? Because I'm saying he has a TV.
Drew had a TV in his guest house where I was. I stood over that goddamn thing for 40 minutes, turning it on
that's
manually,
right.
turning the thing on,
You
making
just need
noises.
a lesson in the remotes.
I know. Well,
Just one day.
Okay. Drew came out
This is hilarious.
and he fired up the TV.
Okay, fired it up.
He got it going, and he got it on Netflix. You guys
Yes.
tell me. You tell me what you would do.
Okay.
He gets it on Netflix.
Yes.
It goes to Netflix. It goes to like a 3-part Jerry Springer doc. I love a doc. And I like Springer,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a doc. I got a Netflix doc. I got Jerry Springer. I like Springer. He's been on the show. I said, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Do this. Well, while Drew was in the guest house, he plugged in a couple of space heaters.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. So that unplugged the TV?
The space heater popped the breaker.
Oh, no.
But it didn't pop it until after Drew was back in the house and up in his bedroom.
Jeez.
So now the TV's down and everything's down. So I go back around and I get the breaker fired up.
Yeah.
And now I sit back down and I can't get the fucking TV to reboot.
You don't know how he did it.
I don't know how he did it, and I'm the worst. I'd be the worst house guest in the world if I walked back into the main house,
And
went
said, "Can
upstairs,
you help me?"
and told him to get out of bed and come get my TV back working again. So I have to sit there, and now I'm 45 minutes. I'm just standing there, turning it on and off, and trying to do the remote and doing
And it
all
just didn't turn on again, or it turned on, but you couldn't get Netflix.
I somehow surmised that I got it on the screen, and I could hear Netflix, but I couldn't see Netflix, and now it's going insane.
See, TV input's off. You got to fix that. I know. I diagnosed it. Fix the TV input because it's going through the surround sound. You got to get that thing.
You might
checked.
have to turn it on from the actual TV, right? Like the screen.
Oh, I stood.
Oh, you tried that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did everything.
I think you're right. Something's unhooked.
Yep.
Or something's...
Listen, you know what?
Input.
I left it on, and I walked away. And I came back like 15 minutes later, and it was on. I mean, it was back on.
It was back
I
on
could find
Netflix?
Netflix, and I could do it.
So you can do it.
Well, okay.
It's just a lot of work.
Can we agree on this? Can we agree on
Got to
this?
warm up.
This is hilarious.
Some stuff is immediate. You know, you hit it, it's immediate. Some stuff you hit it, nothing happens, so then you hit it again, but you're just shutting it off now.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know. You need to hit it and walk away for 10 minutes, and then it would go on. But I kept shutting it on and off.
Is there one remote, or are there two? Because sometimes there are two remotes, and one you have to turn on, and the other one...
There was another remote, but it was for another heater that I was pointing at the TV
my
set,
God.
and the heater was going off.
The
It's a
heaters,
nightmare.
the heaters ruined it all.
So I'd have nothing to do because in my former life, that was the time I sat down and I just watched all my TV shows, and I no longer can do
well,
that.
maybe it would be okay to ask him again for help before you go to bed. Now, since there's been some
Or make
time.
the Folgers
Well, now I
commercial.
got the now I got the TV work. Now I think I figured the TV out.
Oh, you did?
It's still a
So now
small
your life is
TV.
back.
Okay, you just
I
don't wanna
know what
watch
do
on
with
that
it.
TV.
I
Okay.
can't control.
I
I
got
can't
it.
record. I can't rewind. I don't
Yeah.
know what to do.
I see. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, maybe this is good for you, you know, to not have the TV for a few days.
Well, there's like a practical application. Like I was in a hotel room and I was watching TV. I told you guys the other day, like 5:30 in the morning, and some bitch came on to CNN and said something fucking batshit crazy, and I was like, "Oh, what? Oh no! What'd she say? What was that?"
you
It was
couldn't-
like gone.
Gone.
And then I came in here and I was like, "Joe, CNN." It's like not on the internet, and I was like, I would normally stop it and pause it and rewind it. I would tape it with my own phone if someone said something crazy or whatever. It's just.
And
Dust
you can't
in the
remember
wind.
it.
Off to the ether.
No, well, Joe took him 2 days, but he was
What
able
was
to
it?
find. It was the congresswoman who does not have Altadena in her district saying that the fires were set intentionally because it was a historically black neighborhood.
Oh my God.
And then started
my
making
God.
accusations about the power being shut off.
Oh,
and the
jeez.
alarm didn't go out fast enough. I'm like, okay, crazy
All right.
bitch. Not everything is fucking.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
a raccoon farts in the forest, it's not racism. It's
Yeah.
just some things that just shit happens.
Yeah, that's insane.
Right.
Strange racism.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
we call it.
very.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So we got some news. You got news?
Fires.
I got news. Yeah, I got some strange news. It's really weird news
Oh,
day.
hold
I'm just
on.
going to tell you.
Hold on.
Yeah.
A lot of people died.
What?
Damn.
Well,
A
Bob
lot of people-
Euchre's dead.
Oh
David
yeah,
Lynch.
David Lynch died.
he did.
So sad. We were talking about it earlier, though.
God bless.
Yeah. I was also telling you guys yesterday, we're trying to look for a stand-up thing of me in Wise Guys from like 4 years ago. Somebody brought up Gavin Newsom, and I just kept saying fire. Fire, like on
Really?
stage. It's
Oh, my
weird.
God.
Because it's 4 years plus.
Why
I don't
were
know.
you saying
Wise Guys,
fire?
Salt Lake City or Utah?
That's
Utah. Yeah, sorry.
interesting.
I'll just play a minute of it because I think it's funny.
Yeah, wow.
Live line? Gavin. Oh, Gavin Newsom. Yeah, it gets me angry. Gavin, that's the best interview ever, right? Yeah, Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom So I got a theory, because Gavin Newsom, so California is like the only thing in California that's not on fire are the homeless. It's like, it's just homeless people and fire. That's all there is.
4 years ago.
That's crazy.
Everyone is moving to Nashville, and they're moving to Texas. Everyone's moving out of town, and his thing is like, okay, let me see. By 2035, no more internal combustion engines can be sold in the state of California. And you're like, okay, Gavin, the building's on fire. There's a pyramid of homeless people out front. Joe Rogan just went to Nashville. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
All right, let's see. Okay, I got something that's going to fix this. No business with more than 18 employees shall have a boardroom that does not have a bi-curious llama in it. A bi-curious llama of color.
Oh my God.
We're going to need an owl that's transitioning. The fucking state is on fire and we're broke, okay? Let's see what I got here.
Those breaks.
Wow,
See what
this
I
is
got.
I'd like
crazy.
to reduce our carbon footprint. The fucking place is on fire. Our footprint is the size of Sasquatch wearing a waffle stomper.
Oh my
Did I
God.
talk about that bi-curious owl yet? Well, I'm fresh out of ideas.
Oh my God.
You know what I realized? This is real.
Listen
Listen
to
to
this.
fucking weird, inane shit, because it's the kind of stuff you would focus on if you were out of problems.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you didn't have
true.
schools that were failing and taxes that were too high and you can't make payroll and everyone's out of money and there's no more unemployment checks coming in and everything is on fire and homeless and fucked up. If you will all somehow be distracted by that if you worked on the little shit that makes no difference. So here's a good example. I'll give you an example. If you like met a couple and you said to the guy, like you're at a restaurant, you know, and you said to the guy, what are you up to? You like to work around the house? And he's like, I'll tell you what I'm doing right now. I'm down in the garage. I'm doing all stainless steel cabinetry. All stainless steel cabinetry. I'm going full Euro style hinge. I'm going to full extension Accurite slide ball bearing things in there. I got everything labeled. I got them all laid out. Everything's alphabetical. You would think, oh, I bet that guy's fucking master bedroom looks pretty damn good, right? You wouldn't picture raccoons fucking on his bed with a homeless guy taking a shit next to it, would you? That's what Gavin Newsom does to us.
Yeah.
I do think that's what he
does.
Gavin Newsom
Yes.
picks bizarre, inane things that don't make a difference to anyone living in his state and focuses on them as if we've now conquered every problem. Be like you going, well, I'd like to, my son speaks Mandarin, but he doesn't speak Cantonese. And you go, isn't your son a junkie? Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, we can. Yeah, he's shooting up right now in the hall closet.
Right, all right. So
Yeah.
I've always thought he does little weird things with, like, I'm going to make sure that the straw covers, not only do we have paper straws, but also the cover of the straw
Oh
is
my
paper,
God.
and that gets
Yes.
in the ecosystem. And it's like homeless people everywhere, shit
Everything's
everywhere.
on
like,
fire.
And it's you're fucking raw sewage going into the bay because homeless guys are living in a fucking LA river and they're shitting into the creek. But you're talking to me about the straws. And so, like, if you thought to yourself, like, if you were going to visit a civilization and you didn't know anything about it, but it's like, what are they doing right? Well, right now they're trying to make sure that the straw covers are, you're like oh, that must be safe as shit, that place. If they're down to that.
Well, dude, it's fighting tomato cans. It's like cheap victories. It's stuff that he can control, so he can go, oh, this is a win. Look, I've fix the straw problem.
But I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's more of like sometimes you'll see like really fat people talk about doing something with their hair or something,
Yeah,
and you'll go,
yeah.
No, that's what I mean.
I'm thinking I'm going with a chestnut color, and you're like,
You're
you
like-
need to lose 80 pounds, and then we
Yeah,
can start
it's not
talking
about
about
the hair.
color of your
Lipstick
hair.
on a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's that. I think
Yes.
he likes because it sounds almost utopian when we're dealing with like little miniature little problems.
And he acts like a trust fund kid. Like that's kind of what he acts like. He's like,
Yeah,
these
but
are
it's
my
also
problems.
like
So
the Delta smelt is a fish that needs to be. Yeah, but if everything's on fire, then
yeah, maybe not.
we'll just go
right
with the
now.
fire first, and then we'll get down. It's funny when I had. It's a good poll, Joe or Dawson. Actually, just popped in my head. There's Gavin on this show talking about the homeless, which always makes me laugh. But there is a clip, Dawson, you're going to have to scrub through it, or Joe, which is, I said to him, I go, look, we got like problems, and he goes, I like working small to big. And I remember thinking,
Oh my god.
well, that doesn't.
Yeah, it
That's
never
not-
gets there.
That doesn't make
very
sense at
frustrating,
all.
yeah.
Like, I want to talk about traffic. You want to talk about
Right.
Delta smelt and milk thistle weeds, and I want to talk about bigger stuff. Like, and he proudly announced that he liked to work small. Now he's a sociopath, so he doesn't really know what he's saying,
Right.
And he doesn't care.
He just likes the sound of it.
It sounds
just sounds like something that
like something you go, oh, that guy gets me. He wants to work on
Yeah.
the small stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Now we got news. We're going to do a little bit of a shorter show today because of extenuating circumstances. So Dawson will find the small to big one. Going to make me laugh, or so will Joe. And I got to find the homeless too, which that one we do have pulled aside because this is insane. And we'll take a break. We'll do some news. We'll do it right after this. Morgan and Morgan, life can be a little crazy sometimes, and one person's negligence can result in another person's settlement. Hopefully that'll be you. If you're ever injured, you check out my good friends over at Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers, more than $20 billion recovered from over 500,000 cases. That's right. They got a lot of clients, and they've recovered a lot over the years. Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you a full and fair compensation for what you deserve. Going on the road and doing stand-up every weekend can be difficult. At least I make it look hard. But submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is easy. It's Morgan & Morgan, right, Dawson?
If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Adam or dial #law #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/Adam or #law #529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Adam, I love your positivity through this tragic event that's going on in California right now. Longtime fan, but the thing that concerns me the most right now is after all the fires are put out, the catastrophic mudslides that are bound to happen. Thoughts on that?
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Yeah, there. Well, first off, listen, I get it. The fire happens, and we're like, we don't have firefighting fixed-wing airplanes or hell, we don't have any of that. It's like, we have more money than anybody. Like,
Yeah.
every time Newsom brags, he goes, it's the 5th biggest economy in the world. It's like, all right, well, then act
What
like
are you
it
doing
and buy a
with
fucking
it?
airplane, would you please?
Yeah.
If they don't have motherfucking bulldozers on every goddamn corner when those rains start, because PCA and
my
the canyon,
God.
and you cannot. You know what?
What?
I'm going amphibious. I get in a boat.
Yeah.
I got to get a boat. I got it. I got to get a Zodiac
So
boat.
You mean so you can escape?
No, to get back. Once the rains start.
You gotta storm the beach like
I
DJ?
know dudes who live in like Long Beach and, by the
Yeah.
harbor, marina and everything. I'm going to have to hop in my Zodiac. I'm going to have to swing by.
What's Zodiac, a dinghy?
A Zodiac is like the
big-ass
military
boat?
inflatable. It's what the...
Yeah, Navy SEALs.
It's a Navy SEAL
I didn't
thing.
know that was what it was called.
I'm going to have to hire Zodiac Uber.
Oh my God.
He's going to have to drive me in because PCH is going to be covered with mud. The canyon's going to be... the line of cars is going to go all the way back to Westwood. You'll never get in. You'll never get in. But if I go Zodiac, the Zodiac, you slide right onto the beach.
Yeah.
Slide right on the beach, jump off.
Yep.
I do it at the beach club. I walk across the street, go up the hill.
You're going to want to wear a beanie and black the face out.
Black the face
you want
out.
to slip in underneath the cover of darkness.
Did some people evacuate on their boats from Malibu? No.
Nobody back on the boat.
No.
Yeah, and I could do
Just
it.
add them in with a rowboat.
I'm going to have to boat in.
So is that a real threat, the mudslide
The
situation?
mudslides, what follows, because all the
my
vegetation burns off,
Oh,
and then
man.
the mudslides. That's where we're at.
I think I want to leave LA.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right. You got some news?
I got some news. Look,
Yeah,
I have some funnier, lighter news, but since we're dumping on politicians already, Mayor Eric Adams blasts critics of his $650 million plan to help New York City mentally ill and homeless. Yeah, he's biting back at the city comptroller and 2025 Democratic primary opponent Brad Lander, who slammed his ambitious initiative as half-baked as he unveiled it to the State of the City address last week.
There doesn't seem throwing money at homeless and insane people and drug addicts seems to be bottomless.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things you can kind of throw money at and right the ship. You know, you go, well, we got a bunch of potholes. You go, well, throw some money at it and we'll fill those potholes. Like you go, okay, that's a kind of one-to-one. And then there's the more nebulous stuff, which is like the schools are failing, and you throw some money at it, it gets a little better, but not really. It goes more to the teachers unions and stuff, but it might get a little better. Homeless just is a hamper with no bottom on it. It just keep throwing stuff. I wish him well.
I can't agree with you totally because I have seen the Hope of the Valley. I worked with this charity before where they have a contact team. Yeah, you can't help everyone. It's true. A lot of junkies are in their drug addiction and they're just stuck out there forever. But there is a pathway up out of that, and there are certain charities out there that actually allocate that money and use it well. And I've seen guys go from street urchin to normal dude with a job as a plumber.
But is that from the government or is it from that individual charity?
Yes. The answer is yes to both. Because if there's a lot of times guys get stuck in this and there's no way about it. But as we always talk about on this show, there's a grift somewhere in the system. There are people out there who are just pocketing that money.
NGOs.
Yeah.
By the way, Erica wanted to know if that guy's available.
Single, yeah, he's available.
Which
strong
guy?
hands. Yeah, slide into his
He was
DMs.
a junkie, but now he's cleaned it up a little bit.
He fixed himself.
He said he was cute.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me correct that. I have interviewed the guy who does Tunnel to Towers. And that guy builds houses for disabled veterans, and 97% of the money he gets goes to the thing, and then they buy old apartment buildings and they retrofit them. I will give that guy the money for the homeless.
Yes.
That guy will fucking figure out these big NGOs and all these fucking organizations.
Yeah.
And at some point, it's like, what happened to the $24 billion?
Yes.
It's gone.
Yeah.
What do we got? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that. Okay, no to that.
Yes.
Yes to the private organization, the church or the group or the Tunnel to Towers guy.
That's what I think.
I'll give him the money.
Yeah.
That's what happens, though. You're absolutely right. What happens normally is those NGOs siphon most of the money off to middle management.
You have no idea where it's going, and they're probably not even getting the resources that they're claiming they're supposed to be getting.
Right. Yeah. So, the safe haven law here in New York City, they're starting to, build houses and try to end this homelessness, in New York City, but it's taking a lot of flack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, it's only families. It's only families that'll cure this. That'll be it. Oh, you have If Newsom saying is going to
Oh.
work small.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Oh, this is good.
Start big, and then
Hold
we'll
on,
get down
go
to
back,
the small
sorry.
stuff.
I like
Start from the
sweating the
beginning.
small
Stop,
stuff. and then getting the
stop. Just start from the beginning. Okay, that's always still too fast.
issues
Well, here's all
with
I'm,
generational
all I'm
poverty.
suggesting.
There's a lot of
in,
other
in
issues.
government. Start big, and then we'll get down to the small stuff.
I like sweating the small stuff and then getting the big stuff. I think it's the opposite.
Thank you.
All right,
It's bottom-up thinking, not top-down thinking.
All right, I got to tell you what. All right, I'll tell you what.
It's bottom up thinking, not top down
That
thinking.
doesn't even make sense.
Biden always goes, we're going to go from the bottom up and the middle out. Okay, guy whose junkie son is taking money from Ukraine. Okay, we'll listen to you about how to go from the guy who's never had a job in the private sector. So you're going to build from the bottom up and the middle out. Which he just said it all the time. It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
Right. He likes bottom up thinking.
Bottom up,
and
top down.
he likes to start small.
It's so stupid.
I told him government needs to go big, and then we'll get to the small stuff. Big would be like fire.
Yes.
Small would be miniature fish that nobody eats. That'll be small. Big will be fire.
Where's the
But
the
he's got it
thistles?
from miniature fish nobody eats
Yeah.
up to fire, and he hasn't got to fire yet because he's worried about the miniature
And
fish
he's
that
proud
nobody
of it
eats.
too. It makes no sense. And he's like, no, this is the way I like to work.
Well, he's
doesn't make
he's
any
a
sense.
preening dope because
Preening.
I like that.
I realized that I learned it. I learned it. I've said this more than once, but it's applicable here. Which is like when I did Crank Yankers, I once called a place and I don't know what it was. My dad I needed his ashes or whatever the bit was. Anyway, I just said the person was like, I know it's a difficult time for you, and I was like, it's very difficult. And then at some point, I go, no child should have to bury a parent. And they went, yeah, I know. And I realized, all right, I'm just saying shit. She has no idea what I'm saying. But I said it in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounded
we believed it,
like
yeah.
it made
Yeah,
sense.
I told him work
And-
big to small, and he told me, no, I work small to big. I'm a bottom up kind of person. Maybe he just meant a bottom. Maybe it was a gay thing, and I didn't understand it. But he was a bottom up dude, and it's like, okay, but that doesn't make any sense. And like I
Yeah.
said, the milk thistle and the miniature fish, the Delta smelt is the small. That's
a real
small.
thing?
Yeah, and then fire is big.
Yeah.
Aqueducts are big. Things that's big, and this is small. So I want to work big to small. I want to work fire down to fish.
Yes.
Fire to fish.
Yeah.
I grew up eating the Delta smelt.
You did?
Wow.
Yeah, not good. It's not good, but yeah, poor people ate it.
Where did
Wow.
you get it?
I lived close to the Delta, Pittsburgh. My family were fishermen in Pittsburgh, California.
Wow.
They were fishermen?
Yeah. Like,
Wow.
And they captured the Delta smelt? You can't fish for them, right? You have to put
No,
them in a net. or
and
something.
by the time I ate them, I don't know how we got them, but they are poor people fish.
Could you buy them at the store?
Occasionally, yes, you could, but it was more. I think it was more of a specialty store. Like someone in the family would be like, "I found smelt."
You made them
Why would they go-
endangered.
How many times? And how would they
Yeah.
prepare Delta?
Okay,
smelt?
so they're gutted.
They're gutted, but they're miniature.
Yeah, well, I think they have to be gutted because the alternative is unthinkable. You put them on a baking sheet, cover them in olive oil and salt and pepper and garlic, and you
they're like a
broil
sardine.
them in the oven like a sardine, and then you grab it by the tail and you eat the whole damn thing, spine and all.
Whoa.
You think somebody guts it though? Like
They
a
have. Well, I
miniature?
mean, otherwise we ate the guts, and I don't remember eating guts.
I know, but once something gets small enough, like
know.
when
You might
eat,
not know if
Yeah.
you're eating
Yeah.
the guts.
Right.
They're so little.
Joe, see if they clean
Ew.
Delta smelt because
Yeah.
Was that one of his things that he wanted to
he
fix?
was worried
he-
about
he-
the Delta smelt. Yeah.
You know, in 2014, California's overwhelmingly voted to build new dams. Guess how many new dams were built? 0. Guess how many we destroyed?
A lot.
At least one.
Wow.
For the Delta smelt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, to be
Wow.
fair, he's an empty vessel, but he's controlled by environmentalists who it's always
Sierra Club.
Yeah, it's unclear whether they like the environment or they hate people. I always think
They hate people.
Yeah.
I think it's hate people. To eat a Delta smelt, most commonly you would fry them whole, including the head and bones.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah.
After lightly coating them with flour, and eat them by grabbing the head
Or grab the tail.
to pull off the backbone. Oh, you had
Ow.
to pull the head off, and the backbone would
my
come
Oh,
God.
we never did that.
Once cooked.
No, we
Many
ate the
people
whole thing,
enjoy the
bones and all.
taste of the whole fish.
What?
You're eating guts. You're eating smelt guts, bro.
You could be on one of those wilderness shows where you have to survive in
I
the
think
wilderness.
the last time I probably ate them was when I was like 11 or 12 years old, and then they just made. I
Hold
just
on.
couldn't do it
Hold
anymore.
on. It keeps going, though. You may be right. But you can also gut and bone them before cooking if preferred, ensuring not to overcook them as they are a small fish.
Okay,
How big are
but
they?
we,
Like this?
We didn't bone them. About
Yes.
5 inches.
That's
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
We didn't bone them. We ate the bones.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if we ate the guts or not, but I guess I wouldn't be surprised if we did. We ate a lot of stuff.
God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nasty ass fish.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so funny because I'm from North Hollywood and I got to deal with you and Mike August, who's the crawfish guy, and I'm like, I'm from North Hollywood. We had Lunchables, we didn't have shit that came from a creek.
Yep, I brought Delta Smelt to school for lunch.
Whoa!
Yes, in
Oh
a
my
baggie,
God, you
in a
poor
sandwich baggie, and
thing.
I ate Smelt for school lunch.
You couldn't even get bread and peanut butter jelly?
There used to be a sardine sandwich. It now gone the way of the dodo or the Delta Smelt, but people used to make sardine sandwiches. I
Ew,
know.
I hate sardines.
That's gnarly.
Ugh.
All right, sorry,
Gross.
news. Where were we?
Here's some more news. Here's
Yeah.
some wacky news. I know you're sliding into DMs. You might want to get into this, guys.
My God.
Italian soccer team Lazio fires the Eagle mascot handler. Okay, this guy handled the mascot for photos of his prosthetic penis. Yeah,
my
he
God.
put this on his private
Who is
social
this?
media. He is the handler for the Lazio's bald eagle mascot. So
The handler?
football team. I know this is
That's
deep.
a
Well, so
job?
you have a
This is deep.
bald. It's an actual bald eagle.
An actual bald eagle.
Oh.
Baby. He
You have to have
handles
a
it.
handler.
So he had a private social media account, and he underwent surgery for a penile implant.
Oh my God.
That was not for medical reasons. Okay. And he says, I had the surgery to increase my sexual performance. I'm assuming he said it with a nice Italian. I had the surgery to increase my sexual performance. And
Wow.
he told because I am very active.
But he took pictures of his
my
junk.
God.
He took pictures of the junk and shared it online for some reason.
Oh my God.
And I guess maybe I should admit now what I got out online, but this guy had his penis online, and now the fans shared it, and suddenly he's fired.
Was there a pump involved?
I don't
with
think
the
it's
penis?
a bump. It didn't say, and I didn't look too deep into penile implants because I don't want my algorithm.
I
thrown
talked.
off.
Yeah.
I talked to Larry.
Oh my God.
I talked to Larry Flint about this. You know who Larry Flint is?
I forget now.
Hustler magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there was a movie called The People versus Larry Flint. So maybe
Right.
it was like
Yeah,
got into
now I
the
remember
lexicon.
that. Yeah.
But Larry Flint was in a wheelchair because they tried to assassinate him,
Whoa.
and he was
Okay.
stuck in a wheelchair, a golden wheelchair.
Oh.
and he said he had a lot of sex, and then I said to him, well, you're in a wheelchair, like how does that work? And he said he got a pump involved.
Really?
And
Oh my God.
And the pump, you know what the pump is, man? The part you
I know.
my
like,
God.
like
You know
Reebok
what-
shoes, yeah.
like a Reebok shoe.
Yeah,
You know where it is?
Where?
In his nutsack.
Perfect.
And it just helps him get an
where's
erection?
Yeah, it gets all rocked up.
Oh my God.
But where's the release valve in his hiney hole?
You know what? I wish you were there with me when I interviewed him.
I would
'cause
have
forgot
definitely
to
asked
ask.
him.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So he
Wow.
would give his. So I said to him, like, how many squeezes does it take to get going? Because I didn't know if it was multiple. Mm-hmm. He said 3. Took him 3.
3 hard
pretty efficient.
presses on
Yeah.
the
Sack.
Oh my God.
And he would just have a woman, and then he would go, sorry, gotta pump it up.
Not sorry, 3 pumps. They'll be right
pumps.
there. Yeah, quicker
Yeah.
than any man you met.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. And then after the show, we went out to his limousine, and he had like a driver, and they put him in they opened the trunk to collapse his wheelchair and put the wheelchair in the trunk. And in the trunk of this limo he drove in, he had piles of porn in the back, and his guy like got out like a stack of porn back when porn meant something, and he just handed me a pile of porn. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. I'll back to my car. It was simpler times.
Yeah. Wow.
We have the video of the Italian guy.
I want to see
penis implant.
I want to see the golden wheelchair. I want to see what that looks like.
He's in front of his doctor. He's with his doctor.
Oh my God!
Oh, come on,
I don't want to see that.
Yeah, slide news
my
DM.
God! No, why would you take a picture of that?
Hard penis.
I gotta say, it looked pretty good though.
Not a bad cock.
It looked so big.
Probably a good gym cock too.
Hold on, watch this move. I don't know. It seemed about average. I don't know.
But the view, they did it from
That's what I mean.
Talk about
It was
bottom up.
pornographic.
Yeah, it was kind of Delta Smelty.
It's kind of a Gavin Newsom
I got a
plan.
little, I'm
Yeah,
a
that
little more
was-
cod, you know what I mean?
Well, here's the funny part is that, that cost him his job, but he also was suspended in 2021 for performing a fascist salute and showing his admiration for Benito Mussolini. This guy sounds like a real dick.
You cannot.
Wow.
All right. The fascist, but when you wrangle eagles, you have to give the fascist
You
salute.
do.
That's how they know where to land.
Yeah.
Really?
You can't put your hands in your pocket as an eagle wrangler. Where's the eagle going to land? On your head?
So they're constantly going like
You're
that?
constantly fascist saluting
Oh my
because that's
God.
how they know where to land.
But this guy cared more about the penis than his job?
Maybe he's looking for a perch. Perch is a type of fish too. You eat perch, Janita? No
Do you
perch.
bone the perch?
Yeah, all right. One more. We got
All
another
right.
story.
Look, Sally Struthers was fat shamed by Betty White. Calls her a very passive aggressive woman.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah.
She's funny.
She is.
She's in a lot of stuff.
I feel bad for her
Why?
because, okay,
What's wrong?
She was in All in the Family, it was
Yeah.
an iconic sitcom, and she was beloved.
Yeah.
And then she was really ubiquitous because that's back when sitcoms, you knew everyone in the sitcom, and there were only like 4 people or 5 people in the sitcom, and she was Archie's daughter, and she was on kind of the right side of all the subjects.
Yeah.
Even though, if you really think about it, like how new or old is this stuff? Like really just break it down. Archie, and I used to watch these sitcoms with my hippie mom, you know, and so Archie Bunker was the heel. You know what I mean? And there was like my mom, dude, look at that guy. And he was a buffoon and he was sort of racist.
But he was
and
funny.
He was
Yeah.
whatever. Right. But he was the buffoon. He was the heel
Yes.
of the sitcom. And this sitcom is more than 50 years old now, right? But you really, and the heroes of the sitcom were his wife, but it was also Meathead and it was his daughter as well, right? So, and Rob Reiner, who kind of turned out to be that guy in real life, was like sort of the hero who would constantly, you know, Archie would get his comeuppance at the end. Okay, but let's just break it down. There's only one person in that house that fucking had a job. His name was Archie Bunker. That guy got up and went to work every day. Meathead sat around in the spare bedroom and fucked his daughter all day. But Meathead never had a job, right? Meathead didn't have a job. Gloria didn't have a job.
Yeah.
They were both adults.
Yeah.
Like, Rob Reiner was like starting to go bald, like when they were filming. Like Rob Reiner was a 20-something-year-old adult. She was a 20-something-year-old adult. And they would come downstairs and like meet, you know, Archie would come back and he'd be like, long day at work. Like, Edith, is dinner ready? And they'd be like, Archie, you can't tell her to make you dinner. It's like, You're fucking lounging in my house all day, and then he's coming down giving these speeches about people who don't have enough and everything else. He's working. Yeah. You're fucking lounging. You got a couple of units over at the junior college, and you're passing judgment on the guy who pays the bills and keeps the lights on.
Yeah. Right.
Why is he the bad guy in this equation? Aren't you loafing? You fucking loafer ass coming down and lecturing him every 10 minutes on politics from his house. Get your own fucking house, pay your own fucking bills. How about that? And I realized that's kind of where it started. Like, why is Archie the bad guy in this equation?
Right.
Oh, because he says Negro instead of African American. Okay, but he's the guy who works all day, pays taxes, and keeps a roof over these loafers' head. Everyone else sits around and complains and does nothing all day. Rob Reiner didn't have a job the whole 5 seasons. They were there. He's a 20-something-year-old able-bodied male who chooses not to work. Yeah. But he does choose to lecture the guy he's freeloading off of.
Right.
So she was his wife, his daughter. She was Archie's daughter, and everyone loved her.
Yeah.
And then she slid out of everyone's DMs and stayed away from TV for a while. And in the meantime, put on a couple of pounds.
Uh-huh.
And then came back in the form of someone who was trying to raise money for UNICEF. Oh. And so she'd come do these commercials like, these kids haven't eaten it. So why? Because you stole all their food, fatty? Like at the poor woman.
No.
Everyone made fat jokes about her. While she was trying to raise money for malnourished kids, they're making fat jokes about her. I know, right?
Yeah, but she has a good career now. She's like a character actress, right? Like
I don't know.
She does TV all the time.
We have
I think she's doing fine.
All right. Well, let's see.
And look at her cute dog. She has a cute dog.
Let's see. Well, let's see her be. Oh, Betty White.
She got bullied by Betty White, yeah.
Well, let me hear it. Did we have it?
When?
Do we have it or?
Oh, yeah, play it. Go ahead.
She asked her housekeeper to bring in a plate of whatever to us while we were all sitting and talking about what was working about the game show and what wasn't. And then the plate was set in the middle, and it was cookies, I think. So I reached for a cookie, and she said in front of everyone, "Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you, dear. You don't need a cookie."
Oh, my God.
Totally
solid
bashing
joke.
me in front of the rest of the people in the room. And I thought, gosh, that's not nice.
Yeah. Well,
I listen to the Two Gays Who Sit Too Close Together podcast every day.
Yeah, me too.
And I've heard this story. What the? Dude, what about the rest of the sofa? Do you not?
They're cuddled up for sure.
You think you're on a roller coaster? Like, get the fuck up, spread it out, gays.
Spooning.
You guys are like on top of each other on the sofa. All right. Let me just tell you about old people.
Yeah.
Old people say shit they mean.
I was thinking that too, that's an old lady remark. Like
right to the point.
Like that's like a grandma going, honey, you don't need that.
Yeah, right.
It's like, it's still cute.
No, and also, we need a little more, honey,
honesty.
You don't need that. Like someone needs to say to people that are overweight, oh, look at the... You probably don't need the cookie. It's not even 1 in the afternoon. Like that, I'm fine with that. That's fine.
Yeah. And I think at a certain age, you shouldn't have to censor yourself anymore. You're just tired. You're like, I just want to say what I want to say.
Yes, it's funny because you start off in life as sort of mouth of babes, like kids. Say to fat
they
kids
say
will
honest
go,
things.
Don't sit on that chair, you'll break it, you're so fat. They just say it. You know what I mean? And then at some point, you take like 70 years off of saying what you think.
Yeah.
And then your last 3 years, you say what you think.
Yeah.
Like it's the very beginning. It's like the diaper. It's at the beginning. It's at the end.
Yeah. That's why they say only kids and old people are honest. Only honest people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Betty White. I did her game show. I did that game
show. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like her when you met her?
I liked her and I like Betty White. I do not feel that we have to adore Betty White. Like people like, oh, Betty White, I love it's like, how do you know? Maybe she's racist when she gets drunk. You don't know she is. Like I get like Betty White's fine, but we don't have to worship her. She was just fine.
She was just an old lady.
She's been in the business for
She
70
cultivated
years.
a mystique of being that girl or lady.
Well, yeah, she was the old lady of Hollywood.
Exactly,
She was the main
She
old
was
lady.
originally super funny in Mary Tyler Moore as Sue Ann Nivens.
Right.
And her character would be really saccharine sweet and say horrible things.
So that's probably who she
So
really is.
that's kind of who she may have been. So
Yes.
Sue Ann Nivens' character was really funny because she'd be all sunshiny and say horrible things. So maybe that translated. All right. We'll do a little shorter version of the show because there's just so much to get to today. Let me give some Erica Rhodes plugs out. Lots of cities, lots of funny stand-up. EricaRhodesComedy.com is where you go. I'm going to be with Paul Rodriguez in Covina at the Laugh Factory coming up Wednesday. Boca Raton coming up at the Black Box Theater.
I was there recently.
Oh, you were? How was it?
It was
Like
fun. Yeah.
Naples coming up. Probably done off the hook there. Or, yeah?
I didn't make it there.
Oh,
I was
all right.
supposed to, and
Well,
then
then off to Naples
Yeah, off.
after that. That'll be January 31st, February 1st. Just go to AdamCrow.com for all the live shows. And until next time, Adam for Mayhem and Erica Rhodes, say it. Mahalo.